Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deerick, and alongside me, as always, is the PC Muscle Race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
Hey, what's poppin'?
Also joining us is the mad pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
I'm depressed. Hi.
Is that supposed to be a unique feature to this group?
I just thought I'd bring that to the table.
Just kidding. Maybe. Special guest tonight. You know him, you love him. If you've been following me for the last 7 years, you've probably seen him for at least half of them. Infinite_rewind. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Matthew Kiel.
Woo!
Hello.
Hi, Matt.
Now, I just want to say, it's been like 7 months since I was here.
Has
And
it been that long?
yes, I think it was January when I was here.
It was right after the
But I want to say there was a joke on that episode about a Patreon goal being LeRon having less sleeves. I would like it noted that on consecutive performance for me, LeRon has less sleeves now. So
I think a couple, dude. There was a
What was
whole
I wearing
stretch
last
where he
time?
was
Was I wearing a
like,
muscle? Was I wearing a muscle shirt the last time you were on? Was it
think
muscle
I
shirt, or was it-
honestly I don't remember because I didn't rewatch the video. I just listened to the show.
This one could have had a deeper cut though, so you see some chest cleavage or something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll do better next time, Matt.
No, you did great. We're talking. The joke was about less sleeves, and you've delivered less sleeves. So I'm just letting you know. I noticed,
Right.
and thank you.
All right. Well,
I
you're
noticed.
welcome.
Wow. How's everyone doing? We had a week off, although listeners didn't notice because of the power of recording ahead and scheduling. Everybody enjoy their week off last week? Everybody have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
What's a week off like?
Stephanie got a new job, and it's not with Boss
Oh,
Rush.
congratulations!
Oh, please. Apparently everybody knew about it, so.
I didn't know
Yeah, I
about it.
really don't know how I knew about it.
No, I'm just kidding. That's
I
fine.
haven't started yet. I think I'm recording my first EXP cast episode with them as a more semi-permanent member this upcoming Sunday. So they're going to regret it. Trust me.
Well, hey Corey.
Yeah.
No, they won't.
My thoughts and prayers to you, man. Like Hogwarts got delayed till next year. My thoughts and prayers go out to you.
I know. We talked about it on Potluck the other day. It's fine.
Yeah, your scores is plummeting in our what do we call it? I forget what we called it.
I don't know. Hey,
Our-
LeRon, does Advance Wars have a release date yet?
Oh.
I thought it did. I thought it's coming out in October.
Nope.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
Nope. No.
Got delayed.
Bye, LeRon. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm kind of bummed, and the Switch version doesn't even have a release date. So, neat. Because I was gonna bite the bullet because I'm on Nintendo Power Block.
You legit were gonna play it on the Switch?
I'm the host of a Nintendo podcast. I should probably play the Nintendo games.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna be nice tonight. I'm gonna be nice to you. This is your first. Well, it's not your first show back, but this is your first show back with me. So I'm gonna be nice tonight.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'll watch. Oh, there it is.
You don't have to be nice. Nobody else is.
What? I'm nice.
I try real hard. I'm not deliberately mean.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Everybody, it's all fine. Stephanie's hosting another podcast. LeRon's making fun of me.
I'm not hosting.
You are. They told me. Stoy's like, Stephanie's hosting. We're done.
And you actually believe?
Can I ask a question? Am I here? Am I the wrong member of my family here tonight? Because I feel like some therapy needs to be done, and I'm not qualified.
Yes, you are. You're a doctor.
You're fine, dude.
No,
You're a doctor?
I'm a radiologic technologist.
No,
Although-
that was a joke on our old show where I'd be like, Matt, you're a doctor. My knee hurts. Tell me what's wrong with it. It was a good time.
And then I would say anal fissures as a joke.
Yeah, more than once.
That's probably not too hard to believe. Looking at Corey.
Yeah, that's fine. As you can see, we're all
In a
wound
state.
up. It's
We're in rare form tonight.
yeah. Yeah, so we kind of took off last week, so hope everybody enjoyed their week off. Lots to talk about there. I guess we should do Patreon producers before we get started because that's what we should do all the time, and then we forget, and then we do it like 45 minutes into the show.
Yes, do that damn thing.
It's
Yes.
cool though.
Wise.
It's cool. I am pulling it up right now. I'm just wasting time, but I can't think of anything clever to say. If you want to support the Boss Rush podcast and all of the shows on the Boss Rush Network, we encourage you to head over to Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where for $1 you get early access to Standard Definition, Boss Rush After Dark, Nintendo Power Block Expansion Pass, and the audio version of this show. But if you want to become a Patreon producer, you get early access plus a shout out on all of our shows across the network. So without further ado, our Patreon producers for this episode of the Boss Rush podcast are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, my wife, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Rebecca Jewell. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons, and I want to thank all of our free listeners. Remember, if you listen for free and you listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please leave us a 5-star rating and a nice review. It really helps with discoverability, helps us out. And tell your friends. Also, if you don't listen to Nintendo Power Block, I'm going to remind you that we are giving away 2 copies of TMNT, the Cowabunga collection over there. Go listen for details. It's going to be a good time. Very excited for that game. Those games. Some of them. Well, like 4 of them, we'll say. We'll say like 4
That's
of them.
A lot of giveaways.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Why don't you give some away into my pocket?
If you enter,
Give it away now.
Oh, so Boss Rush members and affiliates can are eligible.
I don't know, LeRon. It's the Switch version. You'll probably just delete it or throw it in the trash or
Yeah.
Or give it away on my show.
yeah.
Because I know we have some Nintendo people that listen to my show. I know we do.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's funny we hardly ever talk about Nintendo in like the most positive light on my show, but
I know. I hear things.
I bet you do.
And by
So
I
they're
hear
probably
things,
spies.
I listen to the show.
I was like, no, you have your little groupies that go out and do your dirty work.
Hey,
What, my
LeRon, you'll
ears?
be proud of me. I wrote a PlayStation-based news article today.
Ooh.
Oh, today?
Yep. Or was it yesterday? Today. I don't know. It was just August drops for PlayStation Plus. Nothing's crazy.
Okay. Thanks for picking up my slack because I was supposed to write that, but I've been all over the place doing random shit this past week and a half.
All good. Got you covered.
I
Ooh.
appreciate you.
Cool. Well, Matt, you're our esteemed guest. And if we have new listeners, people don't know you. They should know you. What do you do on the internet?
Try and mind my own, but no. So I host and co-host several podcasts. I do one about video games where 3 friends and I just talk about what we're playing. We dabble in some news, but it's mostly just real casual. It's called Story Route Zero. It's my friend Jason, my friend Moose, and my friend Michaela. That happens every week. I have a podcast about music where my friend Caroline and I make 8-song playlists centering around the discography of a band or a style of music. And our goal with those is to go from a positive or a negative mood to a positive one. And the extremes of the playlist are decided by dice rolls. So recently we just we recorded our episode about the band Beach House. And we went from, I believe it was depressed to content, but sometimes it could be anxious to elated. I know next we're doing Green Day from depressed to elated as well, I think.
That's so cool.
Yeah, but that's been going for about a year. And I'll say it right now, if anybody listening wants to talk about music, we are kind of looking for guests, so hit us up at Trivial Merit. My buddy Jesse and I talk about movies. It is called Free Reeling It. We pick a film to watch every couple of weeks, and then we talk about it. We also talk about other things we've had time to watch. I've been talking a lot about what I've been reading because I've been doing a ton of reading this year. But that's called Free Reeling It. You can find that on Twitter at Free Reeling It. And then finally, the folks at Scanline Media invited me to be on a Hitman podcast. It is called the Bald Gun Guy podcast. It is a playthrough of the modern trilogy of Hitman games. We are about to finish Hitman 2. We're about to do the final level. And Corey knows this. I don't know if Stephanie and LeRon know, but Hitman is one of my favorite franchises ever, and I love those games so much. They make me so happy, and I'm so glad some folks allowed me to sort of just gush over them once a month.
Nice. Isn't the last level in Hitman 2 is like the one where you're at that like castle on an island?
Yes.
I struggled so hard on that. It was fun,
Yes.
but I struggled.
I think the first time I beat that, I think everybody was just dead on the level. I think I accidentally got an in-game achievement for throwing 47 people into the ocean.
Wow.
Which I'm like, oh, that's an accomplishment. I see what you did there, Hitman. But yeah, Hitman rules. I love it so much. It makes me laugh. So as far as I recall, the plan is to do every single level. I don't know if we're doing the sniper assassin missions. I'm probably gonna push for that as an episode rather than one episode for each, because I don't think the content is there in them. But I know we're doing all of the DLC levels as well.
Oh, that's
your
guy
dude.
back there.
Yeah, he's not happy. It's either he's out there doing that or he's in here doing that. Bagel does not have a quiet anymore, unfortunately.
Aww.
We love him to pieces. He's our favorite little guy, but he's just not quiet. He's basically he's a geriatric dog, so he's mad that someone is up past 9 p.m. He's like sitting here trying to tell me it's past my bedtime. So
I understand that, Bagel.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my wife was talking to me.
Little does he know, I'll probably stop this, do some dishes, and then end up playing a game that I will talk about a little bit later for a stupid amount of time tonight.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's fun. That's super fun.
It is.
Speaking of, do we want to talk about video games? Right, meow?
Versus.
Yeah, what else will we talk about?
I don't know. I'm on season 3 of the Orville.
All right.
I'm like,
Is that show any good?
dude?
Yes.
So here's the thing.
Yes.
It's good. I'm really into it.
Okay.
But like,
But
you can see like, I think they probably pitched it as like Family Guy meets Star Trek, but slowly over time it like evolves away from that. It actually becomes like a legitimate show, and like you can see the budget go from like, scraps and pennies from the couch to like now Disney kind of owns it, and you see the Disney budget in season 3, and I don't know. I'm really invested in the characters and the story and stuff. It reminds me of not in the sense of like what the story is about or anything, but just like it reminds me of Firefly, where there's just like a little bit of like charming jank to it. Does that make sense?
Okay. So that's where you lose me, because I fucking hated Firefly.
No, it doesn't remind
It's not so.
No, it doesn't remind.
Joss Whedon can take a long walk off a short cliff as far as I'm
Okay,
concerned.
look,
No, I'm not saying like story.
About Joss Whedon?
I'm not
Go ahead,
saying
Corey.
like story wise or like it's like a western in space or anything. It's just like
Sure.
the way, like some of the ways that it's shot and just like the quality, kind of like you can tell it has like a TV budget instead of like a big like like movie budget. But like now, like with so much TV having like big budgets now, with like
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of quaint to go back to a show that has like a tiny budget and like sets and like, oh well, that's clearly like a painted background or something, right? Or you know what I mean? And like
Mhm.
like when they do the zoom out ship of the ship like, during like the first and somewhat partially through the second season, it looks like, I don't know, like pre Toy Story, like oh, this is a this animation is not very good type thing, but in like a charming way.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
it's
No,
fun.
I feel you.
I think if you like Seth MacFarlane, but not necessarily like Family Guy, but more like his like live action and movie type stuff, I think you're gonna like it.
Okay.
And it's like a, I don't know. A lot of people say it's more like old school Star Trek than like Star Trek is now, which I don't know. Like I said, the only Star Trek thing I've ever seen was that reboot movie, and it was fun.
It's
But,
more like the Next Generation.
yeah.
Hey,
Although
nerd.
spoilers, in the third season, he does say, "May the Force be with you," and that's weird. He's like, "Huh? Huh? Anybody like that?" And everybody just kind of looks at him. So
Yeah, I got to catch up on that. Because I have not started season 3 yet, but I love that series.
yeah, it's fun. I'm invested. I'm really invested in it. It's kind of like everybody's talking about like The Boys and Prey and like all these like kind of serious and super over the top gory and Stranger Things and stuff like that. I'm just like, I can't get into any of these, and it's just enough of like, it's fun to watch. It's serious sometimes, it's funny sometimes, and I don't have to be fully paying attention to it if I'm doing something, but like I can still catch up if I look over and like, oh yeah, that person's doing this thing.
Can I pitch you something, Corey?
Oh boy, here we go. What?
Just because I know that you and I in the past have talked about the League,
Yeah,
and we like the League.
I love the League.
And speaking of a show with a tiny budget, have you ever heard of Letterkenny?
I've heard
Yeah,
of this show.
yeah, it's like what the Canadian redneck show or whatever. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Watch. I would like to see. I would like to get your opinion after a few episodes of Letterkenny to see what you think of that. I don't think you can watch it. I don't think you can watch it with your kids. I don't know Sana's taste, so I can't really say. But I will say Reba and I love it. So.
Yeah, with the little one kind of having sleeping issues, we don't really get to do a lot at night. So,
Yeah.
All right, so Matt, real fast, I want to circle back to something.
Okay.
You dislike Joss Whedon, so I need to know: have you always disliked this man, or is it like newfound from something or some? There's a couple situations
I've
where
never thought anything he did was that good.
Gotcha. Okay.
I thought Buffy was better as a B movie where the biggest star in it was Luke Perry at the time.
Rip.
And I thought it was better when it kind of showed its cards as sort of like, we're going to kind of make fun of ourselves the entire time, and it worked better as a movie than a prestige or early prestige television show. I thought Angel was boring. And I did not. I started watching Firefly when a bunch of my friends at the time were watching it, and I'm like, I don't see it.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember what he did after that. Before he started, because he ended up in the MCU. Yes.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
Avengers, the first
So-
Avengers movie.
Between Firefly and the Avengers, I don't know what he did, but like a whole bunch of shit has come out after, and my big Venom moments have come post that, but I've never liked his work.
So circling back to Firefly, like I watched it. It was fine. I don't understand why people hold it to such high esteem, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I will say this,
But also
because
I watched it like, sorry, I would just want to put it in the context. I watched it like 15 years after it came out, so I mean, you know.
See, that was my thing. I watched it after it was out and gone. As a matter of fact, I didn't watch anything of Firefly until like the movie Serenity came out, which is the movie that tied up the whole storyline. And when I saw Serenity, I was like, oh, this is based off that Firefly show. Serenity was so good that it made me go back and watch the show, and I got an appreciation for the show. The reason why I did not originally watch the show is because like, you put a show on during a time slot that a Star Trek show is on, because that was back when Star Trek used to be on regular television. I'm not gonna watch your shit because like my time is blocked out for Star Trek, and that's just the way it is. So like it was out when Deep Space Nine was on, and Deep Space Nine is my favorite Star Trek series. So like I didn't catch Firefly in its first run, and then by the time I thought about Firefly, it got canceled. But I know like it was kind of unfair, the cancellation and stuff, because Fox had it on like in a weird ass time slot that nobody ever watches because it's Fox, the Fox network, and that was back when Fox was basically begging and almost throwing people money to watch their shit. Like I mean, if we're being serious, if it wasn't House or a few of those other shows, House, X-Files, Fringe, like nobody was watching that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched House.
House is great.
I said if it wasn't House, Fringe, X-Files, nobody was watching that shit.
Oh, I thought you meant nobody was watching those shows. I'm like, I thought X-Files
I watched those shows on Fox. And those are the only ones I really cared about back then, But yeah, so I came to love and appreciate Firefly, but I know this, like anyone that's an anime head, especially an anime head from the late 90s to the early double O's, fell in love with space westerns because of like Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star. I'm missing one. Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star. There was three of them. Trigun. Like anyone that loves any of those anime would automatically love freaking Firefly. And I was one of those people. Like I loved all three of those. Like I recommend them all the time for people that want to find some old school anime to watch because I don't watch any new shit really.
There's some good new stuff out there, but I have seen Cowboy Bebop and I like Cowboy Bebop, and I still don't like Firefly. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, I
mean, and that's always going to be subjective. So
Firefly is quirky enough that like if it doesn't grab you, like it's probably not going to grab you because in my opinion, if I were watching Firefly back when it first came on, it wouldn't have latched on to me, especially those first couple episodes. First couple episodes were rough, like those episodes were basically running off of humor and not like storytelling and science fiction. If that makes any sense, and I guarantee somebody's out there clutching their pearls like, well, I'm not a real fan. Like, no, I'm not a real fan because I didn't watch it when it originally came on.
And guess what? That real fan gatekeeping bullshit is garbage. Stop.
Oh, I know, right?
To quote that Michael Jordan gif, stop it. Get some help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's my 2 cents. I was really just curious about like the whole thing of Joss Whedon because I know some people just have a newfound hatred of Joss Whedon, and some people, and so like when I find somebody that does not like him from jump, I always got to ask.
Oh no, I think that's a valid question.
Yeah.
But Letterkenny's cool. I'll say that again.
I've never watched Letterkenny. I hear people talking about it, but every time I look at like promo stuff for it, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to get into this.
Honestly, go on YouTube and watch the opening of the very first episode of Letterkenny. And it's if you're on TikTok, you've probably seen this clip, but it's where two hockey players are getting basically roasted by two hicks for not like getting in a fight. If that doesn't grab you, the show probably is not for you.
Gotcha.
But because they use their insults so artfully, Reba and I were like, yeah, okay, we can do this. What I did figure out later on is that the writing in the show it's general sitcom fare, but on some points, a lot of the cold opens, they actually use language really well. Like there's at least 2 episodes where they start a question and they alliterate through the alphabet. And they go through the entire alphabet, and that kind of shit impressed me. So I'm like, all right, they're doing this. Cool. But there are plenty of characters there that are just essentially toxic masculinity, but then over the course of watching the series, everyone fleshes out and you start to realize, oh, wait a minute, these are just people with, depth and nuance, and they're not they're
not just absolute shite, basically.
Yeah, they're not just tropes. And just don't judge a book by its cover. That's eventually what it becomes. But I really like the show. There are 9 seasons available, but they're like, I'll say this, it's like UK seasons, so they're like 6 or 7 episodes.
Cool. Neat.
What are you watching, Stephanie? You've been really quiet.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't want to interrupt. Not watching much.
Well, you know what, Stephanie? You know what? Now's the perfect time. Let's talk about Uncoupled. I finished it.
You did?
Yes.
What do you think?
I loved it, actually. My boyfriend thought it was a little too predictable, which I also agree with him. But at the same time, I don't know. Like I given that I'm a writer, like I can always predict predictability. Like in movies, TV shows, and stuff like that. So like it's not really like if I'd actually be more surprised when things are done opposite of what I think are going to happen. Versus whatever. But yeah, it was a good show. I enjoyed it, and I like how suddenly there was all this growth in like the last 2 episodes from fucking every character in the series. In the last 2 episodes, like every character all of a sudden had this growth, and I was like, it's like wow, like like you almost like slammed us with it,
Yeah.
But it was a fun show. It's a show with Neil Patrick Harris, Tisha Campbell, and those are the only 2 like really like big names I know from that. Oh, Marcia Gay Harden's in it.
I love Neil Patrick Harris. Oh.
I mean, yeah, I've never like.
Wait, am I understanding that Doogie Howser and Gina from Martin are in the show?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, they're a real
that
estate.
Makes me so happy.
They're part of a real estate team in New York, and yeah, like Marcia Gay Harding is like where like she's a whale of a client, but she's also one of those ones where they had to kind of like get warmed up to her because like she was not the most receptive, and I mean to the character's credit, she's going through a very bad divorce, and stuff like that, so like, and she disclosed how old she was, so I'm just gonna say she's like maybe like rounding out her 50s, maybe. She never disclosed her age, and like I don't like aging people that much, but yeah, like she was really bitter because like the divorce happened, like the husband left for the new hot model, whatever, and stuff like that. So yeah, she was one of those ones that she had to grow on the character, the Neil Patrick Harris character and Tisha Campbell's character. As a matter of fact, for a second there, like it wasn't me, Stephanie. Did it look like she was maybe just a little racist in the beginning, and then it seemed like she was more misogynist and racist, and then she was just misunderstood. Like it was funny how like she evolved.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good show. Basically, the premise is Neil Patrick Harris like gets dumped by his I want to say life partner because they never got married. They've been a couple for 17 years. He gets dumped on him the day that he plans a surprise birthday party, and he actually gets dumped outside the venue where the surprise party is happening. So like that's weird, I was like, and to their credit, the writers kind of don't make the guy that dumped him seem like a jerk, but he has jerkish qualities about him and stuff like that. And then like I said, by the time you get through, it was 8 episodes. Yeah, by the time you get through all 8 episodes, like all this character growth happens to damn every character that's a central character in the show happens, stuff like that. So I enjoyed it. I don't know how my boyfriend. I don't know if my boyfriend's gonna come back to the 2nd season, but like if not, I'll watch it without him.
Yeah, nice. I didn't watch anything, but I did get to play some actual video games.
Yeah, I think we all played
traveling.
Video games.
Yeah,
But
I actually can report. I finally beat a video game this year. I can actually report that.
What did you beat,
Well,
LeRon?
no, let's let Stephanie go first.
Oh.
She started the conversation. We just kind of
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know if we were like going there or not. So.
Oh, yeah, we are now.
Okay. So
I've been here.
First I played Dead Cells on my Switch, and
Oh boy, do you hate yourself now?
well, no, I wasn't sure about it because I hate roguelikes. Like, I really hate roguelikes, but I love Dead Cells. It's so flippin' funny. I love it. I'm not great at it, but every time I die and start over, like, I can do this again. I haven't gotten to hating it. I actually really enjoy it.
There's a bit of a fun factor into it, right? Right?
Yes. So
Yeah.
The combat
When
is
roguelikes-
super fun.
When roguelikes are done well, they're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, I got to play games on my Steam Deck. I'm still holding out like final opinions on the Steam Deck. I've had very frustrating moments with it. It's not great with co-op at all. I hate co-op on it. Single player is great. Yeah, it's very bad. But I played. No one knows what this game is. Life Slide, and it's just it's an indie game that was showed off at either E3 or one of the Indie World showcases last year. You're literally just a paper airplane gliding through the environment, but it's like supposed to be like this calm Zen thing, but you use like the motion controls to kind of dip and glide and collect parts. Matt, you're nodding your head. Are you?
I know Life Slide.
Oh,
I haven't played it, but I know Life Slide.
Hey, so
It gave me warm flower vibes, and so hopefully one day I'll get to play it. But yeah, no, I do like that concept. But continue.
No, that's it. Oddly enough, I don't know if you guys think it's predictable or not, but I brought the Steam Deck and my Switch to New York. I took a train. I played the Steam Deck probably at most 30 minutes out of the entire trip, and I played with my Switch for the rest of the time. I don't know. Maybe it's just
like. Go ahead.
LeRon, don't.
You must have known.
No, because I want to, but it's so flippin' big. It takes so much to get used to. I am still trying to figure out how to install Xbox Game Pass on it. And I've watched the YouTube videos. I've read all the instructions. But now I need a motherfucking wireless keyboard so I can enter a code, because you need to install Microsoft Edge, and through Microsoft Edge, through Steam, and through that, you type in a code. I don't have a fucking wireless keyboard. So, like, it's insane. Like, I'm sure once I get used to it, once I establish it, because keep in mind, I've never played PC games or Steam anything before. So this is just me getting my cranky old lady, dog nabbit this technology. So that's what I played.
So I'm in several communities where emulation is a big discussion topic, and the worst thing I've ever said in any of those communities is, how do I get started? And then that's when you get all you need to do is this. And they say it like it's just a 1, 2, 3. But when you start examining the individual sentences that these individuals have written, all of us, it's like trying to learn a Monster Hunter weapon. You need to get online. You need to watch tutorials. You need to get with that training dummy. You need to study. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do this. I love playing games on my PC. I genuinely do, but I'm only willing to go so far.
I'm sorry, Matt has invoked the Monster Hunter word here. So
save it for later, LeRon. We'll get there.
Well, in a sense, it's a compliment, because it's not a dig at Monster Hunter. It's just like, it's a very, detail-oriented, when I say complex game, it takes a lot of time to master and then enjoy Monster Hunter. I don't think an average gamer that's never played Monster Hunter before can just join Monster Hunter on day one in the first hour and enjoy it. You got to admit, it takes time, right?
No.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Back in the day, it was like that. Monster Hunter is so easy now. Like the entry point to the difficulty is so scaled down now. Like, God, like back in 2004, you had to cook your own meat because you would not survive.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe it was a bad example, but LeRon,
no. I'll tell you why it's a good example. Because you mind if I just go? Does anybody mind if I just go? Okay. So I've been playing Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak both on PC and on Switch. 100 hours into it on Switch since it launched last year.
So you have more hours than I do, because I only have 76 in the Switch version.
I say that's a good example because I started my Monster Hunter journey with Monster Hunter World, and anybody I've ever said that to has kind of been like, "Oh, so you kind of only know the easy stuff." And
okay, I don't insult
from
people by saying that. I don't do that.
From what I know about Monster Hunter, that's a valid statement because it used to be different. Quality of life used to kind of not exist. But I will say, I picked up World and I chose the Insect Glaive, and
fun weapon.
everybody just blinked. Are we okay?
Everything. We're all fine. Everybody just
Okay.
blinked. It's fine. It's fine.
So
Everybody watching,
I
it's
picked
fine.
up the Insect Glaive, and what I would say to someone picking up Monster Hunter World today, I would tell them 3 things. If you want to pick a weapon, go online and look at a video. Some of those videos are ridiculously long, and they are ridiculously long for a good reason because there is so much more about each one of these weapons, and there are 14 of them in Sunbreak. Then the game will not tell you anything about them.
Yeah. The weapon meta in Monster Hunter now is just insane because like we went from a time when weapons only had like at best 7 moves.
Yeah.
And now it's basically like you need it's like a move list for a fighting game at this point now.
Yeah, and I say choosing a weapon, like I've brought a few folks into the Monster Hunter fold since I've been playing, and I said choosing a weapon in these games is choosing the game you want to play. Now, if you want to play something that's where you probably do Sword and Shield or Longsword, maybe even Greatsword, maybe even Hammer. But if you want to do the sick looking anime shit, you can pick Insect Glaive, Charge Blade, even the Gunlance to a respect.
Gunlance is my shit. Gunlance is my shit.
But each of those weapons takes time to learn, and I have now I'm probably now at a point where I can say that I'm probably going to be playing this series for as long as it's sort of reached, like, I don't want to say Dark Souls level because I'm not near as big a fan of this series as I am of Dark Souls, but each time a new Monster Hunter game is announced, I'm probably playing it. Like, I went back to Generations Ultimate on Switch simply because I wanted to try old Monster Hunter. I did it for science, not that I'm going to get through that game. Maybe one day, I don't know.
Good luck.
But Generations Ultimate's dope, man.
It's a fun game.
I love it already. But
it's a fun game, but the way Monster Hunter has evolved, I cannot go back to the legacy version of Monster Hunter game anymore.
Oh, and that's valid.
Yeah,
but you've also been there too.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
you've also been there.
Yeah.
So like, do I think? I mean, until recently, I would have been one of the people saying, well, the dog is in Rise, so there ain't no way I'm going back to World. Playing through Rise again on PC and the Sunbreak content on Switch, I'm starting to realize using a dog is it like cripples you a little bit. It'll get you around the map super fast, but other than that and carrying a few items, the dog doesn't do much.
What if I told you the dog is freaking elite now thanks to Sunbreak?
I don't think it is.
Oh, okay. So you have been playing around the dog.
Yeah.
Because like you get the little gun on his back and everything. Like,
oh yeah, no, that's I mean, it's adorable. It's adorable. I love that the cats speak in puns. Like Monster Hunter sings to me in ways that I could probably spend 3 hours going over, but we don't have that much time. But while the dog is good, like early game, after a while you need 2 cats with you, because the 2 cats help you in a hunt more than just getting to the monster.
Yeah, I definitely say like having a double cat loadout is been a thing since Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. It's been a thing. The double cat loadout, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm probably going to be a bow main for the rest of my time on Switch. PC.
Go
I'm
ahead,
so.
Legolas.
Oh,
Go ahead.
dude, the bow is awesome, man. The bow rules. There's this aerial aim where you just use a wire bug. It takes you straight up in the air. I've cut tails off with that thing. It fucking
See, the wire
rules.
bug. The wire bug has actually started making the game very complicated. You know,
Mhm.
because I enjoy Rise and Sunbreak just for the fact that it's so anime-esque and all this stuff and things like that. And Stephanie, congratulations, because like you're probably at one of the best starting points to get into a Monster Hunter game if it's your first time. Because
Huh?
yeah, you have Sunbreak.
No, I don't.
No.
You sent me a picture of it.
Yeah,
you didn't buy that? You
Nintendo
didn't buy
store.
that? You
No,
didn't buy that? Oh, I thought you bought that.
I mean I
To
will
be fair, I
eventually.
also thought you bought it.
Yeah, I thought you bought it. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I didn't because you didn't even text me back, LeRon.
Buy it on. You have a Steam Deck. Buy it on that.
If I end
And
up
then you
selling
can.
that damn thing,
And you have the base model. I don't want to buy the base model.
oh. Anyway,
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I was gonna say
Stephanie,
like,
if you get Monster Hunter and decide to play it, DM me. I'll help you out. Not like as a carrying thing, but I'll try and just guide you in terms of
I
like
don't even
learning
know.
a
I don't
weapon.
even know if
Wait,
I'm gonna be
like
able.
that.
I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to carry
Yeah.
people.
here's the problem because now that I have the Steam Deck, I go great multiplayer, Steam, Monster Hunter, but aren't I just circling back to my initial complaint that co-op through the Steam Deck really sucks?
Monster Hunter doesn't have local co-op though.
But it's online co-op, right?
It's
Yes.
online co-op.
Because I
yeah.
tried online co-op. I mean, we can talk about this offline. So I don't
Sure.
wanna spend the whole. But I tried online co-op with I think it was Gauntlet, like just another game, online co-op, and it just like kept. I think the visual frame, just like froze. The audio kept going. Person I was playing with was on an actual PC, and they were able to keep playing the game, but I was frozen. I'm like,
No bueno.
That's so I'm not an expert here, but I feel like that there's several levels of technical problems that could be happening, most of which probably are not with the Steam Deck because I believe
Yeah,
it's relatively new.
it's developer side. I guarantee.
I wouldn't even say it's developers. It could just be the US internet is garbage.
which sucks because I'm paying a lot more for better internet. But
Same.
you know, I'm not.
Same.
Yeah, I'm not against Monster Hunter. Eventually, I'll get it. It is a great multiplayer. I just want to make sure that if I do get it through Steam, well, I don't know if I can really be guaranteed that before I buy it. It's just I would like it to actually work.
That's understandable. That's understandable.
Mhm.
But
That's
anyway, that's what I've been playing.
Cool.
I feel like I took half your segment. I'm
No,
so
it's
sorry.
Is it okay?
It's funny. It's funny. We talked about a game. We talked about a game we thought she had too. That's the sad part.
LeRon, any excuse LeRon can talk about Monster Hunter.
Yep. For real.
Yeah.
Can I show off something real quick?
No.
Yes.
Anytime you want.
I got a few things at the Nintendo store, and I'm just going to explain it to people. I got this for my son. It's a Mario Kart remote control.
Ooh.
Oh,
I-
nice.
And because I needed another controller, Corey can relate. I got another Zelda Nintendo Pro controller.
Hmm.
Oh,
Mhm,
yeah. Corey's
mhm,
like, yeah,
mhm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I won't show off everything, but I did get the
Nice. Nice.
Oh my.
Twilight Princess
Oh, the Midna one.
Good.
Wolf
Good.
Link amiibo.
Good. Replay Breath of the Wild now and use that thing.
And then just for shit, well, I wouldn't say just for shits and giggles.
Oh
got
shit! What episode is that? Or what issue is that?
Nintendo Power issue 116 from January of 1999.
Mhm.
Featuring Castlevania. The reason why I picked this one is because it's the only issue of Nintendo Power I think I had as a kid. Don't know what happened to it. My mom probably threw it away. So it actually has sentimental value for me.
Mhm.
It was great. I saw it at Video Games New York. So
Oh, nice.
Nice.
that's my show and tell.
Nice. Matt, what are you playing?
Other than Monster Hunter, very little.
Bloodborne.
No, actually, I played Blood. I did play Bloodborne like 3 weeks ago with my buddy Ahmed, but haven't played it since. Y'all heard of Cult of Lamb?
Yes.
Cult of the Lamb. Cult of the Lamb. Yes.
I play some Cult of the Lamb.
Tell me.
Cult of the Lamb is dope. I'm a little leery to recommend it, Stephanie, because you said you don't like roguelites.
Generally, I don't, but I love all things Devolver Digital. So
Okay, so Cult of Lamb is probably on the simpler side of roguelikes that I've gotten into. But I mean, not to. I usually get into the really difficult ones, like Invisible Ink, Binding of Isaac, Spelunky. I did like the first Rogue Legacy. I've not played the second. Risk of Rain, things like that. But Cult of Lamb is adorable. I love it so much. I do think it's funny that you can name the followers after people, so it's a very XCOM sort of thing, but you don't know how those followers are going to play out. Those followers could help. They could hurt. They could dissent. You could have to sacrifice them. They may die. You may have to eat them. Cult of Lamb rules.
nice.
There's a sloppy precision with the combat, so you don't have to be pixel perfect. I think if you like Dead Cells,
Yes.
the combat in Cult of Lamb feels way easier. Did anybody play Boyfriend Dungeon last year?
No.
Yeah.
But I might be willing to play it if it's actually good.
Boyfriend Dungeon rules. It was one of my favorites last year. I love Kit Fox games. Kit Fox games, they put out bangers. But Boyfriend Dungeon and Cult of Lamb kind of feel similar in combat to me. I would say Boyfriend Dungeon is a bit more technical than Cult of Lamb, but I feel like you could just relax and have a time with Cult of Lamb. I found very little stress. The progression is somewhere between Inscription and Slay the Spire, where they have the little dotted lines between boxes and you have the choice of which box you want to go to. The boss mechanics are relatively readable, even on your first time out. They kind of alternate between a melee focus and a bullet hell, where if you want to back off and just catch a breath, every boss encounter that I've come across so far, and I have not beaten the first main one. I've only beaten the first 3 mini bosses. All of them have like a bullet hell mechanic that'll spread projectiles through the room, so you you still have to dodge through them to get back to the boss if you create some distance. But Cult of Lamb is wonderful thus far, and I think the customization of your followers is nice, because you will meet a follower in the world, and when they get back to your settlement, you can change the way they look. And I think it's just it's a nice game. It's really fun. The other thing I've played, and I'm just going to talk about this briefly because I've only played about 30 minutes of it, is Genital Jousting.
Yes.
This is a game with goofy-looking penises in it. And I just started the story mode tonight, and it's very Stanley Parable, where it has a narrator, and the narrator will kind of tell you what to do, but if you don't do that, the narrator will react to what you're doing. So in my early scenario, it's a penis that's waking up late for work, and the penis's name is John, which is but so it's John woke up late for work, and I let my alarm clock go off like 4 separate times, and it says John's just not into it today. And I'm like, oh, it's reacting to me. Cool. John needed to clean the dishes and take a shower, but he didn't. He just put clothes on and left. And I'm like, you don't know what working in healthcare is like, narrator. So yeah, it's very charming. and it's full of dicks, and I'm into that. So yeah. Generally, it's $2 on Steam. Just
$2 on Steam. I mean,
Yeah.
dang, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go buy it right now.
put it
Yeah,
on.
it's good. It's always
Put it
fun
on
to
your
see.
Steam Deck.
Nothing like
Yeah,
a
it's
$2
always fairly
dick.
cheap.
Don't mind.
All right, am I up next?
Nope.
Whoever, I'm finished. So
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
can you guys see this real quick? Sort of.
I
Sort
see
of,
Corey's
yes.
reflection
Okay.
and,
Well,
and text that I cannot read.
I'm in like the desktop mode and I have to input code. All right, LeRon, go. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So yeah, like I said earlier, I finally beat a game. Like, this is the first game I've beaten this entire year. So yeah, like hold on, my watch tells me exactly how many days have passed in this year. We are 229 days into the year, and I finally beat a game.
Woo!
Yeah. So yeah, I completed As Dusk Falls, and now I can tell you that my opinion on the game has officially changed, because when I first started up, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna stick with this stuff like that. But it wound up getting me to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm good with this, and I actually recorded gameplay content and uploaded to a brand new YouTube channel that I'm a collaborator with. Yeah. So As Dusk
Nice.
Falls, basically, for people that don't know about it, it's a new game from they're called Interior Night. They're former developers from Quantic Dream, which is responsible for games like Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, stuff like that. And so yeah, it's a narrative-driven game, just like those games were. It follows the path of two families, you know, over the span of 30 years, based off of one incident. I'm not going to really give a lot of spoilers away for it, but ultimately, like, it's spread across 6 chapters, so it's actually a short game. It's not long like the Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human by any stretch. Like, it's a short game. You can beat it in under 7 hours, honestly.
Nice.
And yeah, like, the story is very compelling. I'll put it that way. Like, you wind up. Even though it took me a while to get invested in the characters, like, honestly, I didn't get invested in characters until I got into the second chapter of the game. But once you get invested in the characters, like, you have a lot of questions. You know, we have a lot of questions. You know, once you beat the game and stuff like that. And the game, just like those games I mentioned, Detroit, Become Human, and Heavy Rain, and what went on and so forth. The game has that flowchart system, so there's so many different outcomes for all these different characters and stuff like that. So yeah, so if you're a fan of these games, like, definitely give this one a try. I was playing the PC Game Pass version. It's also available on Xbox Game Pass. So definitely give it a try. And you know, if you love the game, show that brand new development team, you know, some love and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I dove feet first into Spider-Man Remastered on the PC. I haven't gotten too far into it, but I'm enjoying it. I knew I would, because I was one of the biggest cheerleaders, like, saying it's coming to PC before people. I guarantee people, like, even ran to my Crossroads comments and said, "No, it's never coming to PC. What are you smoking?" Like, joke's on you, motherfucker. It's on PC now. So yeah, there's that. But
It's like
definitely-
PlayStation fans circa 2012. It'll never come to PC. It's PlayStation exclusive. Nah. Get over yourselves.
Exactly. It's like get with the times, yo. Like more and more, like, shit. Like, Returnal's gonna be on PC anytime now. Just get ready. You know.
I'm actually
it's just-
shocked it's not already.
Returnal will be good on PC. The mod,
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely.
the mod community would be great for that.
Speaking of the modding community, like, I just saw that there was a mod for Spider-Man where they put Stan Lee in the game and gave him, like, a nice tribute. Like yeah, there's a, like, I haven't seen it in action.
He
but
was
I have
already in the game though.
in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I don't recall.
He's
Yeah,
in it,
he's in the game.
but people made him playable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
They
that's-
took that.
okay.
They took that model and made him playable and gave him, like,
Oh.
cools. Like, they gave him
Oh, that's
the
what that
fantastic
is. Okay.
the Fantastic Four suit. They gave him a Fantastic Four suit. They gave him a bunch of suits that, like, of stuff that he created.
Of stuff that he created.
Yeah, and
That's
it's cool. Yeah, it was cool.
Now, for the next exciting thing that I have for you, Stephanie, I just installed Ghost of Tsushima on my PlayStation 5, so that's the next game I'm going to be playing, and I will actually be recording content and uploading it to the new channel. By
Yes.
the By the way, I just threw you guys a link to the. But there's one more surprise for you, Stephanie. Because I just threw you a link. I just threw a link to the chat for the new channel, and look what game we have on there.
It's
yeah,
meow
definitely.
meow.
Yep, definitely.
Oh,
Go
Stray?
there. Yeah, definitely go there. Check out our channel. We are called Silicon Syndicate. So check it out. Just go to YouTube, do a search for Silicon Syndicate. If you have a hard time finding it, just look for either the Spider-Man remastered, or Detroit Become Human, or Stray, or As Dusk Falls, and look for Silicon Syndicate. You'll find us. And throw us a sub, like you know.
I can't stop the video. Sorry.
Yeah. So there, like I feel like Stephanie, I just gave you so much love tonight.
Yes, thank you. Finally, only took forever.
Yeah.
No, I'm so excited for you. And yay!
Yep, I downloaded. As a matter of fact, the PlayStation app on my phone just told me it's ready to play.
I really hope you love Ghost of Tsushima. Like I know.
I'm sure I will. And Story doesn't even know I'm gonna play it yet. So like, if you're gonna be on EXP Cast, don't tell him I'm playing it, but kind of be like, hey, Story, you're gonna be proud of LeRon because he's doing something you never thought he would do. So say something along those lines.
I think that's too much of a hint. I'll let him figure it out on his own.
Yeah. So yeah. And I saw the movie Nope last week.
How was it?
It's good. But I'm gonna tell you right now, like it's gonna be one of those ones. It's gonna be one of those ones. It's gonna be a little hard to follow because like there's so many different things going on in the movie. From a narrative perspective, not even just the movie's just chaotic or whatnot. There's just things. There's things in the narrative, but apparently Jordan Peele's style is like he likes to do metaphoric stuff in his movies and stuff like that. So this movie kind of gave me whiplash, but not in a bad way. And I can't tell you anything without spoiling this movie. That's the unfortunate part, you know. But you got Daniel Kaluuya in it. Kiki Palmer's in it. What's his name? From Walking Dead, the Asian guy. I forget his name.
I
The
don't know his character's name.
guy played Glenn. Steven Yeun.
Steven Yeun, that's who it is.
Yeah, Steven Yeun's in it. Yeah, it's got pretty good casting in. And like I said, like it's a good movie. It's a suspense movie. It's not really a horror movie, but it's a suspense movie. So like it will have you on the edge of your seats in some parts.
So now that Jordan Peele's got a couple great movies under his belt, like I'm loving all of them. But which one of all of them that you've seen so far is your favorite?
I'm gonna say Us.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Us because I'm a Lupita Nyong'o fan. Yeah, and it was just something about the duality of the characters she was playing that I was like, yeah, I'm enjoying this.
All right, I got to see Nope ASAP.
Yeah, definitely see it. All right, that's everything for me.
Cool. I actually played a lot of video games this past week because I had time. I actually beat a game like LeRon. I beat
Death's Door.
I beat Death's Door. It only took me 3 months, but I did.
That game's so good.
Wait, I thought you beat that the last time we had the show.
Nope. I did not. I was at the second to last boss, and then I decided to go back and upgrade some stuff because I suck at video games. But yeah, I beat it. It was awesome. The last boss is like really crazy though. Like all the different sections of it. Like the last boss is actually probably one of the easier ones. It's just getting through like the different sections of it is kind of challenging. But yeah, I love the world. I love the music. I love the weapons. I think it's just a super. It's probably in a top 20 game of all time for me, and that's saying something because I don't really do the indie thing a lot. And it's just so good. If you like a little bit of challenging combat and some puzzles and kind of Zelda-like dungeons, but not as crazy, I think everybody should probably at least try this game.
Mm-hmm.
It did take me like a good hour to kind of get what it was trying to do, you know. But it's I think it's a must play. It's absolutely amazing, and yeah, I'm really glad I stuck with it, because I tried it and then I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this, but I stuck with it, and I'm really glad I did. It's a special game. It's something that everybody should play, and yeah, my advice is just stick with it. I've talked a lot about this the last couple months, and I don't have a lot more to say, but I was really proud of myself for beating it. So
I'm proud of you for beating it. Congratulations,
Yeah,
dude.
congratulations, man.
yeah,
I'm proud of you for beating it too, because Death Door rules.
yeah, it's awesome. I didn't get all the weapons, but I beat it with like I think 84%. I think complete. So yeah, and then I went I went right from Death's Door to Link's Awakening, and I was just plowing through that game. I think I'm on the 6th dungeon. So it's weird because like I'm using 2 guides for it. I'm using a GameFAQs guide that I found, but I was using the Zelda dungeon one for a while. But the Zelda dungeon one uses screenshots from the Switch game, but the directions are for the Game Boy game.
Oh, okay.
And it's like really confusing sometimes because it's like go left 3 screens, but I'm like it's just there's no screens in the Switch version, you know, unless you're like in a dungeon. And so I had to like find a GameFAQs that was like really kind of more step by step for the Switch version. And then I also
I'm surprised there's not one like readily available, because that game's like 2 years old at this point, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I followed someone's video walkthrough like on YouTube. Like,
Yeah. Well, I think like on Zelda Dungeon, because I used theirs for the Twilight Princess HD, and it's still for the Wii version. They never updated it for the Wii U version.
Nice.
So like everything is backwards, and there's extra steps to certain quests that they took out of the Wii U version, and so like I think they just have guides for the older games, and then they like when the screenshots become updated or prettier or something, they just change them out or something, which, you know, like the Wind Waker HD was like that too, for that last kind of stupid quest that they make you do that they cleaned up on the Wii U version. It still makes you do like it still has the walkthrough for the fumbly steps for the GameCube version, but they use the steps for the Wii U version, or the screenshots for the Wii U version. So
Hit up Lasby and tell him to reach out to his buddies over at Zelda Dungeon.
I thought about it, but
yeah,
I was like,
tell them
nah.
to get the Kraken.
I was like,
Yeah.
nah. I just want to play the game. I don't really care that much. Sorry, David. Zelda Dungeon's great, but I you know, yeah. So dude, Link's Awakening is like awesome, and it's so incredibly 90s in its design to its fault.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to the point where like, oh, I traded a banana for a beehive, and then I traded it for some magic juice, and I'm like, oh, okay, neat. I took this
Weirdest
mermaid
stock market transaction ever.
I took this scale to a mermaid statue, and a door opened, and I got a magnifying glass, so that was cool too. Yeah, it's still charming and fun, and I love the graphics and the music, and just a wonderful game. I love it so much. I'm gonna try to finish it maybe this weekend. I haven't really had a lot of time to play this week, but yeah, it was crazy. Like last week, I played more games in 1 week than I think I played almost all year. Because I had some time, you know, when my kids were like napping. Well, my son was napping, or like, you know, they would go to bed at like 8 or 8:30, and then I would just lay there and play Switch for a couple hours, you know, and then we had a 8 hour or like an 8 to 10 hour drive there and an 8 to 10 hour drive back, and I played the whole time because my wife gets sick when she doesn't drive, so I didn't have to drive, which was nice.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So I played the whole. Dude, it was so fun. I was like, I haven't played games like that in probably like 15 years.
I could just see you with the passion seat going, man, I like video games.
I did. I literally said that out loud. And my wife's like, okay.
Like, wait a minute. Wait, did you just figure this out?
I also played the Mario Kart DLC.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
It's not very good. It's like Mario Kart 8's tracks are so good. Like the normal, like the base game tracks are so good. They look good, they play well. The anti-gravity stuff is kind of fun. It just feels like they're really well designed. And then you go to these DLC tracks and like I thought there was something a little bit off about them, like the way they looked and the way they just kind of like felt.
Is
And then-
one of them like Sydney, Australia based?
Yeah.
Yeah, that track was.
Yeah. And then I was like, man, there's something off. Like the textures are off. Like it doesn't look as good. They're shorter. They're kind of weird, you know? And like,
Well,
I know
there's also the problem that they are slotting into a very, for lack of a better term, robust update to Mario Kart with old stuff.
yeah. But, well, they had a new track in this wave. Like there's a brand new track this wave. But
I didn't know that.
But news came out today. Digital Foundry did a video. These are all tracks that are currently in or will be in Mario Kart Tour, including the old tracks, and they're using the textures and the geometry and the just the base level design from those games and just pasting it into the Mario Kart 8
Lazy.
engine.
I'm
And
not surprised.
I was
I'm
like,
not surprised.
I was like, that
Well-
explains so much.
I think it explains why it doesn't feel great. I don't want to call it lazy because there's still plenty of work that has to be done to get that far. But it does seem like, I mean, the minute because what did they announce when they announced all of that? What was the frequency of releases?
There's 48 new tracks set for 8 waves before the end of 2023. So about every 3 or 4 months we're going to get, or about I guess every like 2 months, 2 to 3 months
So-
we're getting a new wave.
As someone who does not know doesn't know anything about game development, I'm going to say that seems like a whole lot of work to get done quickly. I'm going to assume they had plenty of work done before it was announced. I'm not going to be naive about this, but also that indicates how much work they had done.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that it's like not a lot of work and not,
Sure.
you know, I just, my point is that they feel different and they look different and it's very noticeable.
Yeah,
And
and
it
IB
was,
teasing.
and as a player and somebody who loves Mario Kart 8, who thinks it's the first Mario Kart game I've like really been into since there's really only 3 versions of Mario Kart that I've really, really been into, right? The Mario Kart DS, this game, and like a little bit of Double Dash. And as someone who was really invested in this game on the Wii U and is now was really invested when this came out on the Switch, especially because like my wife would play it with me and it was really exciting because she doesn't play video games. And how great those tracks are, and then this is like, I don't know, it was just kind of disappointing to be like, oh, this is it. And don't get me wrong, there's a couple great tracks, right? Like the remake of the train track from Nintendo 64, Kalahari Desert is really good.
Yeah.
That track's really good. The new kind of dessert track is like, it's pretty good. But like the difference in quality for some compared to the others. Now, Wave 2 is way better than Wave 1. Wave 1 was like, oh no, if this is the quality we're getting, I really regret paying $25 for this. But yeah, Wave 2 was better. I just hope that, like, I don't know, I hope that they continue to get better. It's just been kind of disappointing so far.
You know what racing game that you should get excited for? Wave Race 64.
I know. The Fast RMX guys said that they would like to make a Wave Race game, a new Wave Race game for Nintendo, but they were already denied the F-Zero license, so I doubt they'll be able to make a Wave Race, but they did make a pretty decent racer for Wii U and then Switch. So I also played a lot of Tetris Effect. I did play some sports games as well. I played MLB The Show 22. It's a pretty good baseball game. I gotta tell you, it's pretty good. Not a big baseball guy, but I played it, and I got my fill of it after like 3 or 4 games. Thank you for giving it to me for free for 2 weeks, Nintendo. I got my fill. But I did start playing NBA 2K again, and that game's also very good, and it's more fun when the Cavs are good than the years they were bad. the pre LeBron and post LeBron years were pretty bad.
I don't know, the mid '90s Cavs were pretty good.
I know, but I wasn't playing.
That's pre LeBron. Just saying.
No, I'm saying, like, since NBA 2K has been a thing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you.
I know. Hey, man, I had a Brad Daugherty jersey. I know what's up.
But did you have a Craig Elo jersey?
Nope.
Why'd you have a Brad Daugherty jersey and not a Mark Price? Mark Price is the one to have.
Because I was big and I liked Brad Daugherty.
Fine. Valid.
I mean, I like Mark Price too. I met Mark Price once.
Oh, no shit?
Yeah. Nice guy, but also, like, it was like, I didn't know who I was meeting when I was like 8, you know?
Sure,
like,
yeah.
Mark Price, basketball.
He's the basketball man.
He shoots the ball. Actually, he passes the ball. But anyway, so I played that.
Shooter.
What?
He was a good shooter.
Yeah.
He actually was. He was actually a really good point guard.
I remember when he left the Cavs to go to the Washington Bullets.
Yeah.
That was a sad
Well, did he leave or did they send him?
Well, I think his contract was up and they didn't re-sign him because they drafted who did they draft to replace him? Wesley Person, who played for 2 seasons.
Oh man.
And Terrell Brandon. So that was a good year in Cavs basketball. Let me tell you, they had they had those nasty black and sky blue jerseys with a lightning bolt on it. I'm like, what does that even? You're called the Cavaliers. What does a lightning bolt do? You know, are they wizards? So, anyways, and now the Bullets are the Wizards. Speaking of wizards, I also played a lot of Destiny. Sorry, I know everybody's bored of sports talk. It's fine.
Everybody except me.
Yeah. It's cool. By the way, the Browns.
How you doing in Destiny? Are you making a comeback in Destiny now? Because then you said this whole last season did not do anything for you.
Yeah, I mean, this whole season didn't really do anything for me, but Tuesday is like the big reveal event. So,
wait, is it the season? Is it the content of the season, or is it just something about the gameplay? What
no,
is it specifically?
The story of the season's actually pretty good, and they just promoted their seasonal narrative designer to lead narrative designer of the hold on, Julia Nardin, who she was the seasonal kind of narrative director, and so she kind of like, you know, there's like the overarching kind of expansion storyline, and then each season has its own storyline that kind of ties into the overall expansion. And she's she was in charge of like the seasonal storylines and kind of connecting it back to the main expansion storyline. She just got promoted to Destiny Universe narrative director. So she is now in charge of all of the story elements for Destiny, and everybody's so excited because like the last couple story expansions, like they're like the expansion stories were good, but the real meat of the narrative was in the seasons. And so we're hoping like whatever happens after the final shape, which is the last major expansion that's been announced, whatever happens after that, we hope it's going to go in like this major story driven kind of narrative direction.
Well, here's the question. You say everybody else is excited. Are you excited?
I am. I think
good.
I think the seasonal stories have been way better since I would say season of the Worthy, which was well, I guess nobody really knows or cares, but like at that where they brought back one of my favorite characters who was dead in the lore until they brought him back, because there's time travel in Destiny and like wormholes and time shifting and anyways, yeah, it's been really good for about 2.5 years. So I'm very excited to see what season 18 brings, which starts on Tuesday. And they're also doing the big new expansion reveal for Lightfall on Tuesday, which will be out next February. And then they'll announce like their fall and winter events and their kind of whatever type merchandise and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the stories are really good. My problem with this season was like the seasonal event. They always have there's like a seasonal story mission every week. And that takes place in like it's kind of like they're telling the story through the mission, and then they'll have like a seasonal event, which is like the team-based thing where you go in with a team and go do the thing and get rewards for it. I didn't really care for either, as much as I enjoyed the story. Just the gameplay stuff that you did to achieve it was not very fun for me. Plus, it's in a location that like I just absolutely don't like, which is the Leviathan. It's like this big giant space ship, right? It's where like the first raid took place, and of Destiny 2, the first raid of Destiny 2 took place, and they kind of reused this area for like a corrupted kind of area, and it's just not doing it for me. So. But next season, the rumors they're bringing back King's Fall, Matt.
King's Fall.
From the Taken King.
Huh? Are they going to bring back the fiery hammers that you could throw?
They're already there, man. They just
did they come back already? Because I heard they were gone for a while.
They've changed the way that subclasses work, and it's more like an RPG now instead of just like, choosing little bubbles and stuff.
Okay.
And they're focusing more on like character builds now, and like really kind of tuning how you play to these things called aspects. So like if you want to go in and you want to just like take a lot of damage and deal a lot of damage, or you can kind of form this character to how you want. It's really nice. There's also talk about them taking away light levels and having your experience for they have this thing called a seasonal artifact, which grants you special abilities.
Right.
They're talking about taking away light levels altogether and like having your artifact be the way you level up now, which is like everybody's really for that. So.
Well, yeah, because I think anytime I've seen a lot of folks in circles that I run in start Destiny over the past couple of years, like they've not been there since day one.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the light level is the one thing that seems to be a sticking point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just like this. It's this dumb especially the way they've done it in Destiny 2, where like it doesn't really mean anything anymore because they've taken it out of competitive modes. They've taken it out of, certain PvE modes to the point where it's like the only thing it's really doing is gating you off from certain content, and the grind sometimes really sucks to get there. And every time a new expansion comes out, they always boost you to the new light level anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So say I stop playing today and I'm 15, my light level is 1571, and say the minimum light level to do the new expansion is 1650. When the day the new expansion comes out, they will boost you to 1650 no matter what. Everything
you don't have to opt into that.
Everything you have will be boosted to 1650 no matter what. And then the grind starts to the whatever the raid level cap is would be probably like 1800, I would say. And that's just like this grind that you have to do no matter what. And sometimes it sucks because like pinnacle gear is so random. Mm-hmm. I went like 2 weeks where all I got were boots and chest pieces. And it's like, well, I can't level up because I can't.
You're like, come on, Bungie, I need pants.
Yeah, I need pants. I need a helmet. I need some gloves. Give it to me. And they've kind of like they've kind of done this system where you can kind of aim your progression, but you have to do you have to do the seasonal stuff to unlock these things. And it's like there's just all these ways that gate you from getting to where you need to be, to the point where like some people just stop playing because they feel like it's impossible to get to where you need to go. And then some players just luck out and are there, like 2 days before they need to be, and it's just, I get like RNG and roles and stuff are a thing, but
Jesus giveth and Jesus taketh.
Yeah, and they just haven't really found that sweet spot of like, oh, we see you've gotten too many chess pieces this week. We're going to kind of, find some kind of artificial way to make sure you don't get chess pieces. They haven't found that sweet spot yet, and it's really bothering a lot of people, to the point where like that the rumor is that with Lightfall they're just going to do away with all of that. So
I have things to say, but I don't think any of it really forwards the conversation, so I'm just gonna.
It might.
No, because I was thinking like Destiny. Now, I've not played since The Taken King, and that was the only time I played Destiny. I didn't play Destiny vanilla at all. But when I played it, I did not get the sense of. I did not get the sense of MMO-ness
mm-hmm.
that I think is more a part of it now
mm-hmm.
than it was then.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that Destiny might be held back by trying like that. I feel like doing away with the light level is a smart thing for Destiny as an IP, because then it's just kind of like saying, okay, we can make this a service game or a traditional MMO just as sort of parlance,
mm-hmm.
Rather than it actually being, WoW,
mm-hmm.
Without taking so many direct notes from WoW.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's time, we've gotten this far and we have a thing. Maybe it's time for us to blaze our own trail.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as we're able to do this on our terms rather than anybody else's, I think as long as they can keep doing that, it'll probably serve them well, because for as much shit as Destiny got when it launched, it's really one of the coolest turnarounds in gaming history, because the way people, maybe not gaming history, but definitely the past 20 years. I can definitely say that, because the way people talk about Destiny now, it's almost like any of the bad will that was spewed all over the place when it launched. It's a long distant memory.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that Destiny has plenty of inspiration to look at in terms of other IP to maybe not mimic the WoW model and move forward. Because like look at Warframe.
Mm-hmm.
Warframe is one of the biggest games in the world, and you've never had to pay to get in.
Yeah.
Like you could just play it. While it's definitely more on the nefarious side, if you want to spin it that way, look at Genshin Impact.
Mm-hmm.
Genshin Impact is an amazing experience. It's really fun. I haven't played it near as much as I would like to, just because time. But the fact that I've put 60, 70 hours into that without paying a dime, and had a nice Breath of the Wild anime experience the entire time, hell yeah. So Destiny definitely has some extremes to look at. I think this far into its life cycle, trying to just hard pivot to the Genshin Impact model is very bad. Just because if you start doing gacha in Destiny, I'll bet you more people will run from that game.
No, I mean, they've already said they're not doing pay to win.
Sure. Well, gacha doesn't necessarily mean pay to win.
No, I know. I'm just saying they've already said they're not doing anything that will affect gameplay in terms of like buying things, right? Everything they sell is cosmetic, which is fine with me. The prices are a little steep for me, but it whatever. Especially when you pay like, $40 for an expansion or $80 for the deluxe edition for the seasons or whatever, or I mean, it's a lot, but I think that they've actually been doing a great job of steering the ship into a direction they've wanted to go since they left Activision. And Beyond Light started that like really smart transition into a good seasonal model. This expansion, they're changing a lot of the subclasses and the way they work and how you can build characters. And they've also changed the way you can like kind of find good roles for weapons. They introduced crafting this year, which was really smart. They could change the way crafting works, but I think crafting in Destiny is probably something that people have wanted for a long time. And introducing transmog and universal ornaments for armor and stuff has been really powerful for the community. They even started their own magazine called Threads of Light, a digital magazine where they show off community members who have cool fashion sense, which is super cool. And, I think the last there's two things that would really make a huge impact. They need to figure out how to make PvP interesting and competitive again, because they haven't really done anything with it for a while. And they need to figure out what they're doing with this arbitrary leveling system. And then after that, like if they figure those two things out, this game is heading in a great direction.
When you say PvP interesting and competitive, can you elaborate there? Just because I'm not in that scene.
They haven't really added any new game modes until this season. They added their first new map in almost 3 years. They've tried to make Trials of Osiris, their major competitive mode, interesting, and there's just all kinds of people cheating or doing things in that mode or switching things. Like they'll switch game modes up and people just don't like the game modes they offer in these competitive modes. I'm not the biggest PvP person. Fallout Plays is a big Destiny PvP YouTuber and streamer. he could probably explain a lot of this stuff better than I could if you want to watch one of his 5 or 10-minute videos. But like, it's just PvP in Destiny is just a joke, right? It's not like people, it's not like Halo used to be or Call of Duty is now, or there's so many better PvP games out there that it's just like, and it feels like an afterthought in Destiny now, where Bungie used to be the king of PvP, with Halo and Marathon to an extent, I guess, at one point. And it's just in Destiny, it's just people go into Crucible, about 90% of the community go in, do their daily bounties or weekly bounties or whatever, and they're like, I'm done. I got my pinnacle gear. I'm done. And Gambit's even worse. That's the third thing they need to fix is Gambit, but no, Gambit's just a big joke, which is like their PvPvE mode.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool idea. It's just they always change something and then it makes it worse, which on paper it sounds better, but then when you go in to play it, it just I don't know. I know they're overhauling that. They already said they're overhauling it next year at some point, because they have 4 projects in the works right now besides Destiny. And so one of them's a hero shooter, which a lot of people think it's going to be a Destiny hero shooter where you play as like the NPCs in Destiny, which would be super cool. It'd be kind of like Overwatch.
Destiny.
Terrible.
Swing and a miss.
I feel like Stephanie and LeRon are falling asleep talking about Destiny.
I'm not gonna lie to you and say I'm not.
I know. It's fun.
This is educational.
I haven't jumped into Destiny yet, so right now, like it's like does not compute. Like, I eventually will try Destiny out, but
yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's more like I don't have the education to contribute. I'm like, okay, so this is what this is.
Yeah. No, I know.
Well,
this is where the conversation went, and I didn't mean for it to go this long, but
to be fair, neither do I. I've played Destiny for a grand total of like 15 hours, and 4 of those hours were asleep in a raid.
Yep.
And Corey and I started a podcast after that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, there's things they could fix. I know they're focused on a lot of other things. I know their new IP Matter, it should be revealed like next year at some point. They have a mobile game coming with NetEase, which is might be revealed on Tuesday because they're streaming to a Chinese YouTube equivalent. So that's might be shown off. And if they are, then it's a Destiny related mobile game. So I don't know. Destiny's in a great spot right now. Is it perfect? No. But they're leagues ahead of any other game who's still trying to do this, right? Like Avengers and even the Division, as good as the Division is, it's like still not close to what Destiny is. So.
I mean, the Division is held back by Ubisoft. I'll say that.
Yeah. I mean, Ubisoft's not exactly in a great position right now either, it seems like.
No, they are not. No, they are not.
Cancellations left and right. Remakes are crying out for help. Skull and Bones is finally coming out, though.
They were so worried about Vivendi buying them. Now Tencent's getting involved. It's kind of like...
Well, that's like terrible the other way.
Yeah.
Don't really want that. Although I don't know why I'm talking Nintendo. Like 8% of Nintendo's owned by the Saudi government now, so gross.
Yep.
Man. Anyways, that's enough Destiny talk. Man, have we really been going for an hour and a half already?
Yep.
Dang. Sorry, guys.
I'll take the blame on this one. My bad.
Well, no, we had a lot to talk about. Like we been off for a week. We had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I didn't get to talk about vacation. That's fine. Maybe later.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful realizing that Matt's a fellow hunter for hire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
LeRon's writing that down because he's been trying to get a Monster Hunter podcast off the ground for 2 years at this point.
Yeah, it feels like it. Yeah, well, I had 6 episodes.
To quote the
recorded?
scientist from Archer, stopped. My penis can only get so erect.
So erect. Yes, Krieger. Oh my god. I laughed so hard when that line was delivered. I was like,
yeah. Well, should we wrap it here?
I think this is a good stopping point.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. Remember, you can find us on all major podcast platforms. You can follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Podcast. You can follow us on Patreon and subscribe. Patreon.com/Boss Rush Network if you want to support us. If not, it's no big deal. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that stuff. Matt, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Good to
Nice
see your
buddy.
clean-shaven face.
And my dirty mouth.
That's fine. It's better than a dirty asshole, I guess.
Ooh.
Okay, why'd you go there?
I'll
I
save
don't
that
know
for
why.
after dark.
Where?
I swear, Corey's mind sometimes, like, you just don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Hey,
it just
this
goes
is
there.
this is what happens when you have 8 hours of sleep in 3 days. So, Matt, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at @infinite_rewind. I went through all the stuff I host and am involved in at the top of this show. So if you didn't pay attention, hit the rewind button. Just because I don't feel like going through it all right now. But yeah,
Amen
hit
to
me
that.
up. Hit me up. Yell at me. We can be friends. Maybe we can play games together. I don't know.
Nice.
I'm infinite_rewind on PSN. I don't know what my Switch friend code is because who does? And I'm also on Steam at that name too. So yeah.
Cool. LeRon.
As always, you can find me on social media as Exodus803, EXODUS803. It's also my YouTube and Twitch channels. Don't forget, I just promoted a brand new YouTube channel that I'm a part of called Silicon Syndicate. Definitely come check it out. It's gameplays, tech analysis, gaming news. If you're one of those technophiles that love freaking 4K and 8K and HDR and all that content, like that's the spot to go to. So hit it up. And what else am I missing? Oh, my X03 is also my PlayStation Network ID and my Steam ID. And don't forget, Tuesday nights, my YouTube channel, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Crossroads Video Game Podcast, where me and a couple of friends talk about everything PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. So we have a little bit more in between there. Every now and then Nintendo sneaks his ugly head up in there. That's it.
Stephanie.
People can find me on the internets, on Twitter and Instagram at Klimov_author, articles on bossrush.net, and a couple other podcasts, including the EXP cast, moving forward.
You can find me at I am
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you, Matt. You're the only one that congratulated me.
What? I know for sure. I just said I knew. I just said I knew.
Exactly.
Whatever. It was a congratulations.
I know.
Just don't act like that.
I don't know if you guys can
Love
hear Bagel,
you.
but I'm pretty sure he just piped up saying he knew too. So
I love you, Bagel.
You can find me at I am Corey Nishi on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Nintendo Power Block and Standard Definition and other things here on the Boss Rush Network. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. And until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Take care of yourselves.
play General Jousting.